up in the background of the artwork, we're telling the story of Kondoli, and as they all gathering to celebrate him and to steal his magic, basically, as they were dancing and cheering, that's how they had then made the Hindmarsh Valley, but all the hills and valleys had come up through their dancing feet as they stomped into the ground, and as the sweat and things poured from them. And as they were all gathering to celebrate his magic, but also to obtain it and steal it, he had punished all of them. As he had punished all of them, he had turned them into all the various different Ngātis that we have. And as he turned them into the various different Ngātis, the dingo was one of my totems, my father's totems. And he ran out to Ratalang and sat in the water. And so when we had dingoes here, and as all the dingoes were standing along the ocean, they would actually howl. As they're howling at the rock they call Frenchman's Rock, that's actually where my totem sits in the water. And as he ran that and sat there, that's where the dingoes would stand on the rocks and howl and howl for their ancestor, basically, who had created them as a species as well, you know. And then all the cockatoos, so the red-tailed, the Wururi is one of my totems, and as they were a family with the Corellas and all the other cockies, they were like all siblings. As they all jumped into the trees, as the flames and fire burst, the magic burst from Kondoli and landed on the people, as they were running and fleeing, they jumped into the trees and they hit themselves with the leaves, and they turned into the black cockatoos, the yellow-tail and the red-tail. And the other one just had a little bit of spark, so he turned into the pink and grey ones. But the Corellas, they were all painted in white. They didn't get hit by nothing, only a little bit of flame that made their crest yellow. And they were all loud and naughty, and they were, you know, how you depict them as a character, as a bird today, that was their personality when they were in human form as well. So when we talk about, oh, they make a mess, they chew everything, like they like eating, we like eating, just like that. In the dreaming, they were exactly the same as well in human form. So when we talk about that, that's how we respect our Ngātis, our totems, our wildlife, is because when they were in human form, that's how they were. Now they're in animal form. You can see some of the characteristics in them. So we don't say, oh, let's get rid of them because we need to keep our yard clean. They actually make sure they pruning the trees, basically, dropping the leaves in order to make fertilizer for all the, insects and bugs and that. They get into it and that, treating our soils and that, Even though they like mountain and everywhere, that means like taking a number 2 here, there and everywhere. And, you get tired of cleaning it up and washing it. But that's how they were. And, they're fertilizing and they're doing their part. They're doing their role that they've been doing for thousands of years, basically, And so when we think about our totems, they all got their own individual roles that they play within our lands and our waters. And but he hasn't been seen here for over 50 years since they've been seen on the mainland, but they're now over on Ngarrindjeri. And just down here is Thukeri. Some of you might know Thukeri, but that's got some paperbark trees and things like that. And this is also representing the beautiful big gum trees that we have, and the ones that are scarred from our old people who had taken canoes and shields and kulamans and things like that out of them. The paperbark tree is a really important tree for us. It's got ceremonial purpose for it, but it's also where we've taken the bark from the tree and we cooked our food in an earth oven from it as well. And then one of these scientists, actually, I can't remember their name now, he actually said it's probably more, I can't remember the word for clean and bug-free and things like that, sterile, to cook in a paper bark than what it is to cook on a stove. So when you think about our Ngarrindjeri people, they were really smart and cluey. They were clever.